Deleting an item in SmartPLS is not a guesswork. It's a science which is backed by references and numbers. Every construct, every item has some criteria for AVE, for factor loading, for weights, for outer loading, for inner loadings. So in SmartPLS, you cannot delete your items without your references, without your justifications. Now, in this video, I will show you how you can delete your item in SmartPLS in the new version of SmartPLS, which is 4.1.1.2. The most latest version of this is also in the market available, but that and this version is also similar. It's okay, you can see from this version. In this video, I will also show you how to delete your item in the latest SmartPLS version, and also that is along with how you can justify with the references and how you can put your interpretation of that item, and which item you can delete, which item you can keep, and how many items you can delete maximum. Now, let's start with me. First, I will calculate PLS algorithm. This model I took previously in my previous video, so that's why I am working on this model for your clarification and better understanding. Let me show you. And also in this model, we do have low factor loadings. I will show you. See. This item have low factor loading. Now I press the delete button. I cannot delete from here directly. For this purpose, to delete any of the item in this model, you can note down in the paper that this item has low factor loading. Once you are doing your data analysis, always keep a pen and paper to write down low factor loadings of each of the construct for your better understanding. Now, we can press the back arrow, which is edit. Okay, it's pressed. Now we can make any changing in the model. I can delete this. So in this model, we have see here we have our values. Now we need to see AVE. Okay, here now we have AVE values. So this construct already have deleted one item, but for your understanding, I can delete. But see, you can see the AVE values are acceptable for all of the constructs here. 0.519 and 597, 525, 504. Okay, in order to delete any of the value, we need to see either this value has low factor loading. Yes, this model has low factor loading 0.05605 and 0.630. But AVE is according to the criteria. It is fulfilling the criteria. The CR value is also fulfilling the criteria, and composite reliability is also up to the mark. So that's why we keep these two items with low factor loading in our model. And with the justification of the model, we can give the justification that what our factor loading is low, but it doesn't impact our AVE value, because this construct already has achieved the AVE value, and with this value 0.605 and 0.630, we can keep these values. Now I will show you. I will click here, the right click, and this item has been selected. Now I will press the delete button. This item is deleted. After deleting the item, we can calculate again the algorithm. If you do have, see, in the AVE is improved, but alternatively, you can see HRC3, this item got more low factor loading. So that, and these two items get the higher factor loading. So whenever we delete any of the factor loading in any of the model, it sometimes impact to increase the other factor loadings for other variables, and also it help to increase the AVE of that construct similarly like this. Sometimes when we do have low factor loading, how we need to start? We have to see which value is the lowest. We can delete that item, but if the construct is completing and fulfilling the criteria of AVE, then we can keep that item. But if the AVE is low, little bit low, we can try to delete the value, means to say the factor loading which is lower than 0.7 or maybe 0.6, 0.5, which item has the minimum lower value, that item we can consider to remove. Okay, from this we can do the deletion, and now I will show you how we can justify which item we can keep and which item we can delete. Let me show you the slides that I prepared for your reference. So that's why your task would be easy. I am Dr. Naima Adlib, and an assistant professor and a co-founder in an institute. I just want to make your research task easy and make your data analysis for your research, for your papers, for your industry analysis is easier and more easier for you. Now you can see the cutoff criteria for item deletion with references. Okay. Factor loading criteria is values are here and decisions and references are here. Most important references that are used for the purpose to justify your data analysis for SmartPLS are Heratol, Chen, Heratol, and Hensler. Okay, now what you can do? Item with 0.70 or less than 0.70, keep the item confidently Heratol. Okay. If item has factor loading 0.60 or 0.70, then you can keep. Okay. If CR and AVE are acceptable. In our model that I deleted the item that was above 0.60, and it was also the construct was meeting the criteria of AVE and CR and other criteria that was fulfilled. Okay. Most importantly, to see CR and AVE. Okay, average variance extracted and construct reliability. And the other one is 0.40 and 0.60. Use judgment, consider item relevance. Okay, that means still can be, but above 0.70, should be above 0.70 for the purpose to keep. But this is the weak one, but this is 0.70 and even less than 0.70, you can delete the item. You should delete the item. We cannot go with the item with the very low factor loading. Even sometimes in some cases, if the factor loading is 0.5, 0.16, can be deleted for the purpose to improve AVE and for the purpose to improve CR. But if that criteria is fulfilled, we can keep the items. And how to justify deletion or retention with reference in the thesis or paper. If deletion, the item is mentioned. Item with factor loading below 0.40 were deleted as recommended by Hare et al. You can write like this, and the optional statement state that removing the item improved AVE, CR, and overall construct validity. You should must write like this with the reference, and also must write like this. If you observe the AVE, CR, and overall construct validity has been improved after deletion of the item, then you should write in your thesis. And also, if deleting an item is not impacting AVE, CR, and overall validity, then you don't need to remove that item. If keeping the item despite low loading, mention the item which affected loading of 0.62 was retained because the construct AVE and CR values were within acceptable limits. That means with the reference of Hare et al. And the item was conceptually important for the study. Okay, you can write the item was conceptually important for the study. Moreover, you can also refer to Chen and Hensler for keeping items in the 0.60 or 0.70 range. Okay. But in both cases, you can give your justification while retaining the item or while deleting the item. Yes, the next thing is that how many items can be deleted. There is actually not a fixed number for the purpose to delete the item, for the purpose to delete the indicators. But if deleting item causes a construct to drop below 2 indicators, means to say you can keep 2 items in your model. Okay, minimum 2 items in your model. If you are working on a reflective model, then you should take a variable having at least 3 items, not less than 3 items. If you are deleting 2 items, then if you're deleting your items, then that means you need to keep any of the item in your framework, means at least 1 item. But in formative, try not to delete more than 1 items from 3 items. Okay, use deletion only if it improves AVCR and doesn't destroy theoretical meaning, that I already have explained. Okay, now the next thing is how to justify. Previously, I already have mentioned 2 justifications, but here is also a justification I am just mentioning you. Like, as per Hare et al., items with factor loading below 0.40 were removed to improve construct reliability and convergent validity. Each construct retained at least 3 indicators to maintain content validity. Okay. Now you may understand, for the formative construct, you can go with 1 item, but try not to go with 1 item. And in reflective, try to go with minimum 3 items. If a deletion is required, then you also have 2 indicators at least. Okay, but try not to delete. And even best try for the questionnaire, go with 4 or more than 4 items, not too much and not too less. Okay, then because taking too much items would be very difficult for you to collect the data from your audience. Then for the purpose of our research, we also need to keep this thing in our mind. How many items can I delete from construct, and how many should I keep? Then construct, type of construct, minimum item required. Reflective construct, at least 2 items, 3 plus recommended. Then Hare et al. Is a reference. Formative can have 1 but requires strong theoretical justification. This is. And one thing you also note, always keep at least 3 items per construct to maintain strong content validity, internal consistency, and statistical power. The next thing is item deletion criteria. This is a reminder. Factor loading equal to or less than 0.7, you can keep. This is the strong indicator. Between 60 and 70, consider keeping if AV and CR are acceptable. Then 0.40 and 0.60, use the theoretical justification, remove only if model improves. Then below than this or 0.40, delete Weak loading not recommended to keep. Okay. Here is final advice from me. You can also follow this advice. Avoid constructs with just one item unless it's formative indicator or clearly defensible. Always balance statistical improvement with theoretical importance. Means to say, in line your statistical improvements and theoretical importance. Don't delete blindly. So this is from my side, and my disclaimer is that you should follow the references for your thesis in your study, in your thesis. Whatever you are going to do, you need to justify with the references. For my study, there is the references here. If you want to use SmartPLS, and you can use these references for your justifications, and also you can find. Thank you so much. It was from my side, and hopefully you do clearly understand how much items you can keep and how much items you can delete, and don't delete any of the item blindly. Thank you. Jazakallah khair.
करना होगा वो मैंने फिर संडे को